I feel like, honest to my word, I'm now gonna play like an hour of Darktide or something. I kinda wanna play Freelancer again after saying that. We'll leave this for tomorrow. Or medium shoot down. Boop. Bye YouTube. Freelancer go. I can load up Freelancer so quickly I don't even need to change the game. It's great. I can literally this game loads so fucking fast. We're already in it. Can you hear it? Listen. There it is, baby. We're already in it. It's fucking putting it on my stream that takes longer. That shit is instant! If it didn't show up on the stream. Oh, that's right. I have to, like, display capture it, don't I? I moved my battle save out here to Colorado from last time. Because you can get bigger fights! You can get 5 spawns of Xenos! I haven't beat it yet, but I've come close. I'm still rocking the Winchesters, which I found out are balanced. Would you believe these Winchesters are some of the lowest, I'm gonna fucking die, DPS in the game? Fuck. I need to go back to that big gun, hang on. This is a game, what the heck? This is Freelancer, baby. Here, I'll briefly change the game. Because it takes a second. I don't like this, yeah, this is what I like better. I like the heavy AC better, okay. Look at this, nice. Yeah, I think Freelancer is pretty timeless.
Freelancer, Alpha 1.
This is Liberty Police, Beta 1 in Freelancer, Alpha 1-1. Mind if I take a peek in your hold? Didn't think so. Okay, you're clean. Stop. Thank you for your help.
This is just offline testing, so I've got like developer commands and stuff. You doing the campaign, just fucking around, just fucking around. This is like a, it's like a personal mod if you haven't seen me play before. So everything's very different to vanilla Freelancer combat. A lot of custom work.
Pro 2.
Extra big range jump. I played the game a bunch back in the day. It's routine. I try to do the thing with like docking on conning towers too to quick dock on stations, but that doesn't always work anymore. Ow. I'm gonna dodge that more, it still hurts. Even though it doesn't do much to the shield, it still takes half of it off. I just love this. I just always love to jump in and play this. With this mod's balance. I haven't got tired of these fights yet, and I've tested them a lot to get them to the place there. I never get tired of it, I don't know. I just really love the simplicity of this game. Because simplicity doesn't mean a game has to be shallow. Being able to play a game in a simple way doesn't mean it can't be hard to master. And Freelancer is great. There's none of that like Star Citizen fake sim shit to get in the way. It's so effortless to play. You just move your mouse around and the ship goes where you want it to go. Actually modded landing lights for quick docking in one disco, which I can dig. That's cool. Oh, there's 6 of them. Ah! Escape. Ugh. Lead them away. I haven't been able to fight 5 yet, so I know I can't fight 6. There's one like right on me. Oh shit, there's one like right on me. They're like cruising after me. You can't shoot your weapons in cruise, is why they're not. I could take 4, right? I could take 4. Flying by mouse doesn't seem satisfying to me. I really like it. It's very intuitive in this. I like to fly in all games with mouse, to be clear, as well, even DCS. So you gotta really, like, do some special shit to make that work in DCS without being broken. Let's get our shield back. This game of rocked. It still does, yeah, it still does. I'm gonna 2022-2024. We're gonna work on this mod more, and then we're gonna do a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship drive for it. Okay? You know those widgets with Raid, where they're like, get 50 people to download the game? We're gonna do that. I'm gonna give you each that. It's gonna be a pyramid scheme. We're gonna make other streamers play it. I'm gonna try to fill a server up. Ow, 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 ow. Missile! It's fun and it's cool. I love this game. Missile missed. He was engine killing and then he thrust it back in at the end. I gotta dodge that! It's too late! Oh, solo, solo, solo. They're dead maybe if the missile connects? I think the missile just went off. Get him in the E-brake. Get him in the handbrake turn. Yeah, Junie is waiting, it's true. I don't think I can even do the next mission because it bugs with this mod on. Oh fuck, I hit a rock. Whoa. Get him by hand. My favorite thing when I played this game, when I first played it, is how shitty the NPCs were to you for no reason. No, they're alright. The NPCs aren't mean to you in this. I don't know what you mean. Are there even larger ship stations, etc. in Freelancer? Yes.
This is Baltimore Shipyard. Everything's go for launch. Good luck out
But
there.
it depends. So, in default Freelancer, there are like bigger transports, like you can see over here.
Baltimore Shipyard. I need to dock.
This is like a utility ship, like a repair ship, salvager. But as a player, you couldn't fly a lot of them. There was like giant battleships too, but you couldn't really fly a lot of them. The big mods like Discovery often give you capital ships, and you can fly giant things like battleships and cruisers.
1-1. I'm commencing a scan on your cargo bay for contraband. Well, you're clear. I didn't find anything.
Though often people complain that like they're kind of like just pointlessly overpowered and they don't really have a purpose. And they're like bloat. But yeah, it's a common thing to have really big like capital ship gameplay and stuff like this. Imagine if Star Citizen was actually a game. Yeah, exactly. Imagine if Star Citizen was actually the game that Chris Roberts promised you, but you can't like walk around like in first person. You can't do like the stuff where you're a person walking around stations or like walking around your ship. But like the space stuff, the combat, the trading, even the mining, doing missions, all that shit is there, you know, big system, all that shit is there. That's Freelancer, basically. Star Citizen is like Freelancer 2, except they just made it really fucked and just like a big fucking scam scheme of selling JPEGs and just really unfun. That's why I still gonna make the Freelancer. It gets rid of your taste for it. Like, back in the day, I was like, oh my god, imagine if you could, like, mod Freelancer to walk around on it like an FPS. Then you see Star Citizen and you're like, actually, fuck it, I just prefer Freelancer the way it is, it's fine. You don't really need that shit. I told you about the... Where is it? There's Detroit Munitions. Planet Pittsburgh. This one's the New Jersey debris field. And if we go down here, this is the Badlands. Byzantine says, you think you want to walk around on a planet and then you go through the atmosphere for 10 minutes and ride a train for 20 minutes. Exactly, yes. And then also the game runs like shit and isn't fun. Yeah, exactly. I'd like the first-person stuff in Star Citizen if, like, the systems around it lent more to, like, good role-playing or, like, interesting content. But in the end, all the time I've ever done doing that has just felt like they've taken the chore of being alive in real life and put it into a video game. I agree though with Larky, like, I've always wanted a game where I could be a Space Marine merc. I agree, I think space boarding and, like, doing, like, EVA boarding is such a cool concept. And I've always wanted to be, like, a literal Space Marine. But when Star Citizen Star Marine come out and it was shit, I just gave up all hope the game would ever be good for that reason. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. That's never gonna be a thing. I'll never be, like, fucking slamming through hulls and boarding and capturing ships, actually. This gameplay fucking sucks. Bed Bananas is the only content creator that makes Star Citizen look interesting. Yeah, and I think he makes great videos, but honestly, Bed Bananas is basically doing Star Citizen propaganda. I'm assuming they pay him. Because he's basically just doing, like, Chris Roberts prop. With what he does. That shit ain't real. Elisaro says it's too bad that boarding maneuvers make no fucking sense in space. Yeah, I don't give a shit though. Neither do, like, space fighters. Every nerd will be happy to tell you, like, realistic space combat is like The Expanse. Ah! Where, like, ships just railgun and missile each other, and it's more like submarines. And I'll be like, I don't give a fuck, because with ships is fun. I mean, with fighters is fun. Battlestar Galactica and aircraft carriers in space is fun. I should really try not to explode, I guess. Shit. Yeah, that's not gonna... Oh, that one's gonna hit me. Fuck. Missile, get him! I'll get him. Where you going? Why are you running now? You wanted the 2v1 a minute ago, little AI. You're looking at Marauders? No, they accuse me of ivory trading, so I don't like those devs. I'm in the wrong field, I just realized. You want Pandemic Games back? My brother worked for Pandemic Games as a designer briefly.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1.
This is Liberty Police, Theta 19 and Freelancer Alpha 1-1. Stand by, I'm scanning your cargo bay. You've got nothing here I'm looking for.
I bet you do too, buddy.
Sensor efficiency reduced.
Love Destroy All Humans. Yeah, he worked on that. He was a designer on that. You'll this Badlands effect. Yeah, this is inside the Badlands cloud. Freelancer is really cool for just having really, like, making space really interesting as, like, backdrops and scenery. I love the nebula clouds that explode over in the Sigmas over to the east of the whole star sector. Like Star Citizen, I feel like it's just like that kind of sci-fi where it's like, we consulted astrophysicists to determine realistic colors and settings for what our space sectors could look like, and Freelancer is just like, we made a sector pink because it looks cool. There's like a cloud sector and it's really dope. And I fuck with that. It's a game, I like that a lot more. We are fucking under attack! Missile's gonna hit! Just need one more. There we go. We can dodge a lot of shots using these Badlands spikes as well. And the AI bounces off them too, which fucks up their attack runs on me. Makes it a little easier to take on this many at once on my own. He's gonna E-kill out of that. That's gonna miss. That's gonna lose tracking. That was a nice hit from me. Thank you, me. I thought so. Oh! Dramatic cinematic. He blew up on the fucking asteroid. He was so low. You don't see that very often. Impact doesn't do a lot of damage in this. Yeah, got maneuver killed. I love this fucking game, man. Because I love jets, and this game is just jets in space. In a lot of ways. It's just that kind of sci-fi. I love that shit. It's more jets in space the way I set this mod up. With the way movement works and shit. Because I played a lot of this Disco Freelancer, and I never liked the PvP there. Of how it's like... E-kill, jousts... I don't know, it's just like not very interesting to me. A lot of like joust passes. This mod, I balanced the ship movement to be a lot more about like impulse engines rather than thruster E-killing. And thruster isn't really a thing anymore. It's just your impulse engines, and if you want to E-kill, you can E-kill, but you can't like... Because the way it works in vanilla is you have your normal speed, which is like 100, and then your top speed is like 200 when you hit your thruster, but your thruster is like nost, it runs out. It's a little like percentage that runs out. That was fine. But the problem is you can also do this E-kill, where you cut your engines and you just let space inertia drift you with no gravity, right? The classic. So the problem is the meta became to stay at high speed. You just do all your fighting in E-kill. You would be like this. So you'd be going around like this, and you hit your thruster to change directions, and you just like do this with each other basically a lot. Because that way you you could keep that thruster top speed without using all of your thruster fuel, because you just were coasting on momentum instead. So to kind of combat that with this mod to make something different, I instead just made it so thrusters don't really do anything at all. At the moment they're just like, your impulse engine is your top speed. You know, what your ship can just put out all the time is just your top speed. And so you don't have to E-kill to maintain a top speed like this. All you have to do is E-kill if you want to, like, actually, like, not do jet turning. Instead you want to do, like, spaceship drift turning, like, handbraking. A mule! That's an interesting different ship. Because I didn't set this place up as a testing environment like the other places. And I really like the combat like this. I like that turning is more of a thing. I like that E-killing is a really important thing you can do still, but isn't like the only way you play the game. That's like a heavy combat freighter. It's got a way more hull. I'm gonna put a missile into it. It's like a gunship. Look at that thing take a beating. Combat freighter, that's sick. I love this game, man. I don't know weapons that punish E-kill by being very good at hitting targets, just moving in a straight line. In default Freelancer, no, like there was like snacks in Discovery, which are like energy torpedoes and stuff. Like, yeah, you still, so you wouldn't do it in purely straight. It'd be like this. You'd be like, you'd be like this coming in, doing these little like boxing shove dodge thrusts on your way in. I've even got like a... I can literally show you, hang on. I can combine both of what we're doing today, I can show you the video. Because I made a video on this. Literally for the CR back then, when I was in charge of like showing new players like the basics of playing the game. Hang on, I can literally just show you. Where is it? Was it this late? I guess it was? Or is it unlisted now? I don't think it was on the Beagle Rush channel, I think it was on this one. It was around here, it must be privated. Hang on, I'll grab it. Let me just on-display capture for a sec. Content. God, there's so much fucking content to sort through. There's like so many pages. Jeff's been uploading so much to this channel. Hang on. I'm trying to scroll through all the content. How do I get back to the other content now? God, there's so much. But yeah, generally like the best weapons were like, you had really good shield busting blasters, and then really good like secret codename weapons. Oh my god, I'm still only at the year of RimWorld. There must be an easier way to scroll through all your old content. Fuck. Search across your channel, here we go. Colonial Public. Sort by date. Oh, sort by date, that's a good idea. Hang on. There shouldn't be anything like illegal here, right? No. Sort by date. Sort by date. Sort by date backwards. Good idea. Birthday ticket. Where's auto catapult. FL test. This isn't what I want. I'm on the wrong channel. I'm on the VOD channel. Idiot. Idiot Beagle Rush. This is the VODs channel, not my old 24 and 290 channel. Hang on, how do I switch accounts? Beagle 24, 290. Here we go. What an idiot brain. What a dumb idiot brain. Okay. One sec. No. There it is. Slow Dreadnoughts and Freelancer Jousting Theory. There it is. Okay, so... Oh, my Left 4 Dead video is privated now too, that's funny. Here, so now if I pull this up... This is Alias. Alias from back in the day. This is basically talking about, like, that concept of, like, the Freelancer... Discovery Freelancer PvP meta. Where basically... Here's the big thing about it as well, especially when ping came into it, is that it was incredibly easy to dodge and not die in Discovery Freelancer. It was really annoying, especially to me as someone with a lot of ping. I could rabbit like crazy, using Vibrus to graphic, yeah, you'll see why. I could rabbit like crazy, which just means go completely defensive and not take any fire. But it was also very hard to hunt someone down who didn't want to, like, who just wanted to run. Because the projectile speed of weapons was quite slow. So it was quite hard to, like, you know, you had to do a lot of leading. And because you could, like, shift very easily in 3 dimensions in Freelancer ship combat, it was very easy with most fighters to dodge that kind of fire and just, like, do crazy maneuvers to never get hit. So that's why combat was kind of very, like, consensual in a lot of ways in Freelancer. You needed to joust at each other to get the hits. Because otherwise, decent players could pretty much dodge forever and just not get hit. But there were, like, you know, things to it, like, you know, I don't remember, so old me is telling you now, you know, you could do a straight line onto the side instead. Which introduces some leading rather than going straight on. Also, you can throw kinks into your lines as you come in, basically. Though that makes it harder to hit the enemy because you're focusing on evading and you can't do both at once. Mid-pass dodging, so coming in and then as they're about to light you up, start dodging again. Straight lines favoring people who's got, like, the most health, basically. So you can press an advantage, you know, it's kind of like a fighting game. If you have more health, you can press the advantage as long as you don't end up shooting worst. And then you can, this is why I use Vipers, because this faction was a legally distinct from Battlestar Galactica faction. So their ships were very much, their custom ships were very much inspired by Vipers. I fucking love these ships, by the way. I think they're so sexy. Man, this is the best quality there is, huh? The Nyx, these ships are so hot. They're just like black and red Vipers, but a bit more like angular. Where are the machine guns? What do you mean? Oh, because they're Vipers, yeah. So this is what, like, a lot of Freelancers, not like the perfect example of, like, real stuff. Is like just a duel with, like, a newbie. And I wasn't, like, the god of PvP either, but this is, like, an example of what it looked like back then is just engine killing and jousting at each other. Coasting, throwing in, like, kinks into your dodging. You can see how much slower the projectiles are. Like, how hard it's going to be to, like, hit someone who's actively dodging. Brax says it's always funny how much more visually appealing everything is in older games, ships, environments, art style, exactly, because people weren't as slavishly worried about chasing realism. It was just about what looked cool. And then we were just dueling down to when shields are down in this. If it was easy to get away from a fight, why not just run when you start losing? Yes! And everyone did that. And it was incredibly hard to get kills when people started doing that. And that's why I found Disco PvP very annoying. That's exactly what would happen. I'm talking about going through, like... I'm talking about, like, flying through, like, the asteroid fields, chasing after people who've lost the fight for literally, like, 10 fucking minutes of just trying to tag them enough. And when you throw regenerating shields into the mix, just so hard to land shots. Or, you know, people would come and start on you and then they'd run as soon as they lose the fight. Or they just, like, dodge forever until their friends logged on and showed up to, like, turn the numbers in their favor, and then you'd have to run. And I didn't like that. I liked everything about Freelancer Discovery, but I did not really like how the PvP worked like that. Byzantine says it was basically over, but the Space Brits chased him for another 15 minutes. That's right, because you want that tasty kill. Exactly. Also, for those of you who were asking about cap ships, here's like a small example of like some of the scale of one in the Discovery mod of like a big dreadnought. This was like basically like a cheetah report I was doing of you weren't meant to combat dock in the middle of a fight like this to escape. This was meant to be against the rules of like fair combat to go hide on a station. And these players tended to do this. This was up in like the north of the sector where this is a bomber where they would like come and like stomp on fighter fights with their giant like power traded capital ships, and then as soon as they started getting bombed and losing, they just like break the rules and go run away and like combat dock on like stations and shit. Sadly, I don't have any like real legitimate video of me from back then playing this. All I have is like these two videos. I don't have like any like legit content from back then. But anyway, the point was, that's what it was like in Discovery Freelancer. And that's why I made this mod the way it is. Where it's not, you know, about just abusing E-kill to always stay at top thruster speed. And also projectile speeds are much faster. So you can still dodge if you're really putting effort into it. But particularly in a... Depending on the weapon, the weapons on every side as well, there's still weapon variety. But the idea being, like, it's a lot more visceral. It's a lot harder to just take no damage even if you're only dodging. The game isn't meant to be about, like, just sitting there and, like, having duels. Like, I once had a duel in Discovery Freelancer, a 1v1, that lasted, like, literally so long, like, over fucking hours. I'm not shitting you, like, it was the longest one I ever had. Like, over fucking multiple hours of this kind of shit against each other, that we literally typed into each other, like, I'm hungry, like, do you just want to call it? And they were like, yeah, we'll just call it. See ya. You know what I mean? Like, it's like resto druids or, like, paladins, like, fighting each other in WoW. Like, it was that bad. And that's why with this mod, I really wanted to have, like, combat that was, like, that really fucking banged. That was really fucking cool and intense. Like, the best parts are, like, when you play Ace Combat and shit. And it's, like, you can still, like, be the Ace pilot and dodge, but you gotta, like, work for it. Like, it's really fucking visceral. Yeah, hours plural. Yeah, it was a bad one. It was a really long one. Because this mod was planned to be multiplayer, I stopped working on it. You know, we had those streams where we had, like, a bunch of people come on, I loved those, I thought it was awesome. But the balance was so fucked up that a lot of people didn't really like it, unfortunately. That missile went fucking wrong. That was not seeking properly. Byzantine says my longest versus a Unioner was one hour and my hands were getting mega stressed, yeah. Questions, are there playable captures in your mod? Not yet. When we were doing this mod, the plan I wanted to do for this was make everything good in steps. So I wanted to have, like, combat of this scale be awesome, and then push it up to be like, alright, and now you can have, like, you know, gunboats, which are, like, you know, compare, like, the size of a Little Bird helicopter to, like, an Apache, right? Like, okay, now you can have gunboats, which are less about mobility and more about, like, just having a lot of guns and hull and shield. And then, okay, now that you have that kind of combined arms starting up, now there's a role to have fighter-sized bombers that have heavier weapons that won't really be effective against nimble fighters, but will be necessary for drilling gunboats and making them pay. And now you have this interesting rock, paper, scissors combined arms of, like, protect your bombers while your bombers fight gunboats, and your gunboats have anti-infantry, basically, anti-fighter weapons to fight off the escorts. That kind of thing. And then if that's fun, then you can move it up and go, okay, let's bring in, like, a destroyer, let's bring in, like, a frigate. You know, eventually you can be like, oh cool, let's bring in, like, a battleship and a carrier one day. But you don't need to start with that, you know? Because I think if you just throw everything in, it's bloat. If you just throw everything in with, like, with the kitchen sink, it's just bloat. Like, I never really saw cap ships having much of a role in Discovery Freelancer. They were just, like, a cool, fun, like, exciting thing to make enough money to buy. But they were never really welcome. They just didn't really have a good place in, like, fighter fights. And the gameplay wasn't, like, organized enough that, like, you would do, like, fleet combat, you know, of, like, everything having its own role. Dreadnoughts were just, like, here's this giant fucking ship that a fighter has no hope of being able to kill, so you're just gonna run away from it. I think it'd be more interesting if you ever did caps, if I ever did caps in a mod like this, would be to go for, they have an explicit fucking reason they exist. Like, explicitly, if you have caps, it's because they bring something interesting. Like, the combined arms gameplay of, like, okay, like, slowly we're creeping up, like, the scale of ships, but, like, fighters are still too nimble for a battleship to just be able to, like, fight off a fighter swarm effortlessly. So instead it's like, alright, you need all the different parts of a fleet, you know? If you want a battleship, then you better have smaller cap ships to defend it. You better have, you know, picket ships to fight off fighters. You better have this and that. And then why do you have a battleship? We have a battleship because you need a battleship to fight other battleships, you know what I mean? Because battleships fuck caps, but smaller caps can be more effective against fighters, but fighters can't fuck battleships, but battleships can't just blow up fighters. Byzantian says, apparently Caps used to have docking modules, but I started playing after that feature got broke. Yeah, I really like that. Like, what I'd really like for a mod like this is to have it be more like that kind of Tarkov raid system of like, you go out into the Badlands like this, and you go and like hunt shit with like a squad of your friends. And I think it'd be cool to have player caps in the sense of like, they're like your mobile base. Like, you bring like a guy who's got the big honking ship, and his cargo bay is just like full of like supplies. Like, he's got like repair supplies, or he's got like a repair gun, he can repair you outside of combat. He's got extra ammunition, he's got cargo space to carry all the loot you're gonna get out there that you want to bring back. That's the reason you're out here in the first place. Maybe, you know, he's got like a player carrier and you can dock on it and do like refueling repair kind of shit. Restock. And then you've got like your friends of like combat bigger ships where they're like a base you can play around. Where it's like, okay, you're getting swarmed by like, you know, 15 NPCs at once. Like, it's way too much. But you can have your big cap ship player who's kind of like this mobile fortress you can play around. So right now, instead of like playing around these asteroids, I'd be flying around my cap ship guy instead. And I'd be going, oh my god, please get these ones off me because there's too many on me. And you'd be like flying them closer for the turrets to take care of them. You know what I mean? Space Tarkov is something I've never realized that I absolutely need. That's what I'd like to do with this game, basically. Let me pump out of here. Oh god. Jump anywhere! That's what I think would be interesting to do with this mod, honestly. I think there's gameplay that I'd like to combine from games I've enjoyed, like Battletech, where you hunt around for like new mech parts and new equipment. And combine that with something like Tarkov, where like you're going out on these like raids out of civilized areas into like the dangerous combat zones. You're by yourself with friends, and you're going out there for loot. And I'd like that. I'd like that of like, okay, let me go into autopilot. I like that of like, okay, we're here in New York. We're meeting up with other people. We're trading things. Maybe we're doing some light jobs here. But then it's like, all right, I'm gonna go out into the sector where everything's just like fucked up. Where like there's like no friendly bases or ships or patrols. For fucking in the whole sector, and it's just legions of really dangerous enemy AI, and they get their own cap ships and gunboats maybe, and you're just out here on your own or with your friends, picking the area you think you can handle, blowing shit up or exploring like shipwrecks and stuff, or going to mining fields and mining lucrative stuff. Yeah, go to a dungeon, exactly, and go and do that kind of shit, and then bring it back, sell it, trade up, do faction missions kind of thing. And then have the progression be like, Battletech progression be like, Tarkov, even like, Dark Tide progression of how you're like, you're hunting for those good loadouts, right? Like, rather than just being like, okay, I know where all the best weapons in the game are already, have it be like, alright, I'm going out there, and I'm trying to like hunt down like, some kind of like random weapons, right? Like, weapons of like good feats. You know, this weapon, when I shoot it, this loadout, I regenerate shields when I shoot it. And that means I can build a heavier fighter, and I don't have to dodge all the fights. I can just have bigger hull and bigger shield, and I can just blap, 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 and as long as my aim's good and I hit them, I can just leech shield off of them, and fight that way, and have a different playstyle. You know, stuff like that that lets you have different ways to play. Maybe you want to play a light fighter, and you want to be all about the dodging, but you're a glass cannon. You want to play a cap ship, and you want to be like a missile-based playstyle. You want to be like, alright, I only have like one gun, but I have like 5 missile launchers. Or I have these really crazy guns, but they're all ammo based, and I'm gonna run out of ammo, you know, if I blat them all or something like that. And I think it'd be really interesting. I think it'd be really interesting if, like, instead of just like raising credits to buy all the ships, you could do that Battletech kind of thing of like, alright, so I go out there and I get these special pieces of loot that are like, this is a ship piece. This is like the Condor, you know, HL-115 ship piece. And if I find 5 of these, I can go to a special station, and I can assemble them into a rare ship, okay? And now I can fly this ship that's cool. And that's what I'm doing for my game, you know? I'm going out there, and I'm like fucking... I'm going out there, and I'm like doing that shit. I'm hunting down my next progression, my next weapons loadout, you know, my next credits, my next ship upgrade. I'm upgrading my faction relations, all that kind of stuff. And just fun reasons to, like, make you keep wanting to play in the combat. Because honestly, I love this fucking combat. I think this combat, I'd already play this forever. I already do. But I want to then have the progression systems around it to be like, alright, there's a reason to log on and play this game, apart from just for the sake of it. There's like, alright, you can do that kind of stuff. Byzantian says, I would love to fox to a rogue with missile and loadout. Yeah, I've got that kind of in the game.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. Stand by.
Are they still viable right now? Let me see. It's bounty hunter ships. I balanced bounty hunter ships to be missiles. Hang on. This is the medium fighter, right? Yeah, and it comes with 2 SRMs. Doesn't that mean the heavy bounty hunter would have even more? I don't know if these are balanced, because I started only balancing, like, the Eagles. But I'm just trying to look for the heavy one, because I know it's got, like, a shitload of missiles. Because bounty hunter's gimmick was going to be their ships had a lot of missile slots, but less gun slots. Where is it? The Barracuda. What was it called? Can you buy it here? No. I guess I didn't have a save of it, because I see a Barracuda. Hawks, Falcons, Eagles. Rhino testing. Rhino, what was the... That's a freighter, isn't it? I guess it was a freighter with turrets. I was testing. Yeah, something like that. Can you buy ships here still? No, not the ones I want. Bird testing. What is bird? Just because it's cool in an eagle. What's a Corsair? Oh, this is like completely different. This is like not from the mod testing. That's its own thing. Take me to the Barracuda. You want me to do a walk through the Freelancer campaign? Yeah, I want to do it with this mod, but this mod breaks because there's different movement speeds and it breaks scripted shit. Winchester. Oh, that's right. Oh, I'm actually gonna like this a lot better if the handling is similar to the Falcon, because this just trades out the heavy autocannon for another missile slot. And I'm not even using that thing as much with the Winchesters now, so it's actually a sick build. Because I like that about BattleTech, like, oh, but you don't get any more SRM ammo though, so you're exhausting your ammo quicker, that's the problem. I don't even know if this is the right shield, but take off.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Fort Bush. You are cleared for launch. Good flying.
Feels like it flies alright. So it can't be too fucked up on the performance.
Acknowledged. Your request to dock is granted. Proceed to dock 2.
Maybe Baltimore Shipyard has what I want.
Roger that. Your request to dock is granted. Please proceed to dock 1. Incoming light fighter patrol. This is Baltimore Shipyard. We see you on our scope. Acknowledged. Your request to dock is granted. Please proceed to dock 1.
Let's dock here. I might be able to get the heavy bounty hunters when I want it here. Or I may just not have balanced it. It may not be in. Oh no, there it is, the Hammerhead. With 3 missile mounts. This is the very heavy bounty hunter's ship. This is the Saber, which is 6 primaries, 1 missile, 1 ox cord mount. This is like meant to be the agile. The border worlds are meant to be agile the way I rebalance them. Hang on. So save this as the Barracuda loadout. And then let's buy this. Yeah, we're losing that. It all makes sense, yeah.
Ship purchase complete.
Gun missile class 5. Right, so you still have the same amount of primary guns, but we go up to another SRM. And what's this? Star Killer Torpedo Launcher, class 4. Does 40,000 damage if it hits. Where does that go in? It must go in this slot. That's your mine. Which one of these did I want to run? I think this is the one. I can't remember which one is the one. Anyway, oh, I can put another SRM in? No, I can't. But I can put in a Star Killer Torpedo. Or I can put in an autocannon as well. Okay, I can put in the Shredder. Oh god. He.
Loaded into cargo hold.
Gonna run out of missiles really quickly with this, but that's fine. We're just having a little testy. Hammerhead. Save. This thing is gonna be slower.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Baltimore Shipyard. You are cleared for launch. Good job.
I know it looks very similar to last ship, but it is like a heavier version. We have the big Shredder AC-20 autocannon. And then we have our missiles. And our mines. I just want to see if this is the right mine layer. We did someone special. Tansy did work on these. Hang on. Is this the one that does the field? I want the one that does the field. Yeah, sick. I always felt like mines weren't very useful. Really hard to ever get to work without just turning them into shittier versions of missiles. So instead, Tansy did great work on this. We turned them into this thing where, like, they leave, like, a mine field behind you, not just one mine. And they have a really high... I'll try to show you on these guys, hang on. Hang on. Watch what happens. So they have, like, a really high, like, seek speed, but a really low seeker range. So what happens is... You have to run into the minefield to get punished by it, but then if you get close to it, they're like StarCraft spider mines. They like bloop, they like zoom towards you. So if you fly through the middle of the field, you have all 5 of them hit you, and it's enough to really fuck you up. Like if you fly into the middle of the minefield, it's good. So they're basically like a pursuit deterrent. You do it when someone's right on your tail, and then if they don't like evade and get off your tail, they're gonna eat at least one of them, or if they might eat multiple of them. They're pretty cool.
This is Baltimore Shipyard. You are cleared for launch.
Alright.
Good luck out there.
Take me to the battle spot.
This is Liberty Police, Cabin 11 to Bounty Hunters, Flag 9-5. I'm commencing a scan on your
Oh,
cargo.
we're a bit close to the real minefield there, hang on. Oh shit, here we go. So they're gonna fuck me up because I'm not agile enough to evade them. But hopefully we'll live long enough to hit someone with 3 missiles at once. Oh shit, I haven't got this shit set up. Fuck! That was such a perfect chance to kill that guy.
Shield failed. Incoming missile. Shield restored. Incoming missile. Incoming missile. Shield failed.
They're beating my ass! Bitch!
Incoming missile.
Fuck. 5! Oh god, I didn't know you could even get 5 here, Jesus. No! No, please!
Missile.
Ah! You can see what I mean from before. If you're a very heavy fighter, you're suddenly too slow to really like evade effectively against that many enemies at once. They're chasing me.
I have enemy target.
Oh, they're ramming me! Get off me!
Incoming missile.
Target. Closing in.
May have some mines. Oh yeah, you like those mines? Now I have some missiles. Goodbye! Mines are like the only things you can shoot in cruise. You can drop mines in cruise. Hee hee hee. It's mine time again.
Shield restored.
Ow, 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 ow. Different playstyles, folks. Different playstyles. Yeah, you can engine kill from cruise. Yes, you can. So you can go like this. Hit your max cruise, which is 500 on the speedometer down there, then hit engine kill, and you're all good. Absolutely, you can. The ultimate in boom and zoom. Now you might say, why don't you just do that in fights all the time, especially against players, but you're very vulnerable while you're doing it, obviously, for one. You're going to have a very slow speed while you're charging up. Well, you're vulnerable anyway, you're charging up. And then there's these things called cruise disruptors. I don't know what the button for mine is on. But that's a cruise disruptor, and they're special high-speed, high-agility missiles that don't do damage, but knock a ship out of cruise. So usually you'll get spammed with those. I've kind of rebalanced them to be weirder in this, like you can actually evade them. They were unevadable, they were unmissable before in vanilla. They're not really in a place where they're ready to be discussed in this mod right now. But that's the idea, is if you try to run away, you'll get disrupted instead. And that's how they keep you there, that's how they tackle you if you play Eve. Seal says, this is a game I never thought I would see someone play on Twitch. Lost so many hours of this thing 20 years ago. Wow, I'm old. Yeah, me too. No, I love this game though. In vanilla, I just spam chaff when charging cruise. Yeah, you just be like going like this, begging. Like, please, please, please. Try and fight you a little bit more legit without cruise cheesing you with the mines. You have to engine kill way more as a heavy because you turn slower. Missed! That's 3 missiles wasted.
Shield restored.
Yeah, you can see I'm getting outturned really easily. That's the problem of being heavy.
Shield failed.
These medium fighters, they outclass me in agility. And so one of them is basically just like giving me the rabbit treatment while the other is fuck me up. Ooh, but when I hit, it is fun.
Shield restored. Shield failed.
But not gonna work. You gotta like, you can't really chase someone down when they're faster turners than you. You gotta like just take who's shooting you, I think. It's why I kind of imagine, like, it's been like, alright, well, why would you use a ship like this in a balance like this, right? I assume they'd be like a good team player. I think they'd be a fantastic bully for 1v1ing. Or even 1v2ing, even. But they get swarmed really easily because they're not agile. They get picked apart by the hyenas really easily. That fucking missile payload. I think they'd be a really good team player. Because I think if you have some lighter ships to, like, stop everyone from dogpiling, I think if it's a team engagement, that extra armor and that extra shield and that extra firepower is going to be way more useful. But, like, right now, I don't really get to pick my targets. I've just got to, like, fight off whoever's fighting me. And try and get these shields down, missiles away. And if that hits... Oh, yeah! That big, thick ace combat trail, you know? Y485 does the best fucking missile effects for this game. You gotta remember, that's our loadout here. We're a missile boat. So we wanna get the shields down, missiles away. Oh, that's a bad missile launch. Maybe it'll come back around? Nah, that's Lost Seeker. Oh, nice AC-20 hit, if I don't say so myself. So the big autocannons, they don't do anything to shields, they're an anti-hull weapon. You're done. I like this kind of stuff, you know, I like that there's a lot of different ways you can balance a mod for this game to afford a lot of different playstyles. You guys have seen a lot of me, like, you know, playing with the vanilla, like, Falcon with the vanilla loadouts of, like, 1 autocannon, 1 missile, 4 weapons. Then you can play something like this, this Bounty Hunter is very heavy, it's like, you know, you got like 3 missiles. It's like very missile heavy, missile boat. You could do something like, you know, you could mod something completely different. You could make like a light fighter that's very missile based, but doesn't have many gun weapons at all. And then, you know, it's very agile. It's very agile, but it lacks the gun weapons to get the shield down because missiles are also most effective against hull, not against shields. So then if you're working on your own, you're going to struggle with your lack of physical ballistic gunfire power to take the shields down to get your missiles in. And again, I'd like to think, you know, we've never had enough, you know, this has never been played enough in multiplayer to really see, but I'd like to think in Combined Arms then, that encourages you to use that ship in a group situation, where it's like, okay, maybe I don't love this solo 1v1, but as the little shit missile boat, like, dodgy scout, who has 2 missile launchers on a light ship, I can evade, and then also when my friends help me get the shield down on an enemy, I can, like, get right on their ass with my agility, and I can just put missiles right up their tailpipe. Or you can have a ship that's completely different. You can have a ship that's balanced to have, like, 0 missiles, but you've got, like, multiple autocannons. You've got, like, 4 autocannons, you know, or something crazy like that. You can have a lot of fun. It's really, you know, it's a very exciting game to look at when you're modding it as someone who likes to design things, because there's so many systems you can play with, and so many different kind of play styles and different kinds of approaches you can prop up and go, okay, maybe players will fuck with this. And I think that's also what would lend it really well to what we were talking about before, that kind of like that Tarkov gameplay, that Battletech gameplay of like going out and exploring and progressing your gear and your stash of ship and gear. Because there's a lot of different ways you could play. There's a lot of different like ways you could go even in just the fighter class, and then maybe you like cap ships, maybe you like freighting. Maybe you like being a support ship, you know? I think it's a really cool game, and I think it's got so much potential to be modded into so many different things. I think it's a great game to mod. Missiles away. Gonna get you on the turn. Oh, you're done. That'd be a cool roll, says Ricochet's. Shred shield, switch target, and just keep knocking shields out and zipping around. Yeah, exactly. You could be the opposite. You'd be a light fighter who specializes in just having anti-shield weapons. Can't do a lot to hull, but you zip around and you knock shields down. Or the opposite. You've got, like, you know, physical weapons, and you go for target's opportunity. Because there's a lot of interesting ways you can discuss that when you start theory crafting that, and I love that kind of design. Like, I love being able to theory craft things like, okay, I'm a light fighter, so my role is to be evasive and dodgy. How does that pair well with the different weapon playstyles I could take? You know? Or I'm a heavy fighter. What kind of weapons gel with me best? And if you can mix and match different kinds of weapons, different kinds of ships, different kinds of ship lines or different gimmicks, different kinds of traits, different kinds of weapons altogether, different kinds of ship sizes, and then different kinds of scenarios and situations, you get to do a lot of theory crafting, and I think that's really fun for a game when people are always trying to figure out, like, how do we play this meta? How do we balance, like, the best comp around this, you know? Yeah, I think it's fun. Anyway, it's like the end of my stream, but I love Freelancer, right? And you guys can see, like, even though there really isn't any progression to do, I enjoy the combat of this with this mod enough that I will just log on and just play this like this for an hour or 2 at a time. And you can get into it in like 20 seconds because it's an old game, it loads quick, it runs good, there's no fucking bugs, there's no problems, the game just does what you want it to do, it fucking just runs. And it's fucking great, it's just a fun game. Like, if this game had I kept working on this mod and you got like the progression systems in of like modern gaming, of like always having something to do, the next milestone to push, the next gear to try and grind, I'd love to fucking play that, man. That's why I want to make it, because this combat is so fun. I just love some more sense to it, to, you know, the rest of the game around it. Like we say with Darktide. I love it. Let's make it the year, man. I keep saying it because I want you guys to bully me into it. Let's make this the year of Freelancer. Let's do it. Let's bring it back. I don't know how I'm going to start modding this game again. It's hard to get momentum again, but I'm going to try. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get that server going again. We're gonna let you guys come and play multiplayer with me. Because this mod is fully multiplayer compatible. Where's the... I don't know where the streams are where we played it. And there was like 20 of us. It was awesome. You need to convince SWF, Scammy, and your other modder friends to help you. That would be amazing, yeah. If I could trick... None of them care about Freelancer, it's a shame. If I could trick any of them into working on Freelancer modding with me, I'd do it in a heartbeat, absolutely. I would, like, tie them to it with a chain, that'd be so great. Bounty says, just list down the changes you still want and focus one of them at a time. Yeah, Bounty's right, absolutely. And that's what I've started trying to do is, like... Alright, like, what do you want for, like, right now? Don't get caught up in scope creep. What do you want right now? Because you're lucky here where the game's already fun. That's the fun of modding. The game's already fun, so where do you go from here to enhance it? Rather than like making a game from scratch and being like, okay, this is not fun. You can see like the inertial drift on this ship compared to lighter ships. This one like actually fucking has an arse on it. Like you can see how I'm like actually drifting a little bit. That's a thing you can configure across the ships. It's really cool. There's actual like physics and weight and drag. And the arse actually slips out on these heavy fighters when you turn as hard as you can, which I love. I love that that's a thing you can configure. You know what I mean? It's like a cool difference. I love a ship with an arse so fat it like drags behind it. Even without e-braking.
I'm scanning your cargo for contraband.
Ah! Oh,
Here I want.
Just got me covered. Linkies, hang on. Are these the ones that we did multiplayer? Did we ever stream the multiplayer, Hef? Oh, look at that man in his singlet. MP testing, yeah. We had that horrendous bug we had to fix at one point. But this looks like me playing on my own. It's like doing missions and stuff. I was like doing missions testing back here too. But Anthony says Disco satisfies my RP desires but not my Ocean Dogfight. Exactly. And I want both because I want... Here we go, MP. Because I really want... It's like anything. When you watch like a cool sword fight on a show, it's like, alright, cool. But like, there has to be a story. There has to be like context behind the sword fighting to keep it good, you know, permanently. And that's what Disco was great for. Disco was great for giving like this roleplay world that felt real. But the combat wasn't that great. And I'd love to have it all. I'd love to have both. I'd love to have this kind of like sick combat. Like, that's what I would dream of. I would dream of having like this sick combat that I really like. And then the progression systems we talked about. And then you have like that Discovery vibe. Where you got this server that's like 100 players, like 200 players. And, you know, everyone's got their own shit going on, you know? And you got factions, and you got, like, factions, you know, doing politics against each other, and meeting people, and going out on missions with people, and meeting people out in the wild. And I think we talk about, like, that Tarkov-like gameplay, but a game like this, where you're not going to get one shot because you're in a spaceship, you're not getting shot at by an AK in the head, is even better for those kinds of games, because you can really actually, like, meet people. Like, you have enough, like, health that you can meet someone out in the wild and not be instantly sus that, like, if you stop strafing, they're gonna kill you and take all your shit. You could actually, like, meet someone, like, out in the wild and be like, yo, like, I'm soloing, you wanna, like, help me kill some rogues? And, like, I'll split the loot with you. Stuff like that. I love multiplayer games like that. Oh, here's where we went out in, like, a big group, is it? It doesn't involve, like, destroying them. Yeah, here's where we went out, like, in a big fucking group to Colorado. That's sick. This is a good time. Jeff got godded. But we were like going out and dogfighting all of the Xenos. In our big squads. This is cool. Jeff the angry hobo, yeah. I miss this. I want this. This is what I want. We should do this again. I'm gonna keep writing down, I'm gonna try to make time for it, is what I haven't been able to do, but I'm gonna try to keep writing down, like, my list of what features I'd want that I think would make this a game that, like, you would actually log on to and, like, have some shit to do, like, every day or, like, every few days. And then we should put it back up on a server, and we should just start our own little Freelancer universe again. I'd love to see that. The muscle memory every time you hear a spaceship explosion and hit the tractor beam, yeah. Oh, it'd be great fun. I'd love it. I've got as well, yeah. But anyway, yeah. I think it's enough for now. It's enough of that. But I want to do more. I really want to do more. Alright. So, for now, that's going to be the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed XCOM and then some Freelancer in the end is what it was. There'll be more XCOM tomorrow, so I'll see you then for that. Bye-bye. I'm going to thank you for my subs and dubs and raid right now. So thank you very much to CoolAsJ19. I think I'll start the Freelancer channel back up on my server again. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to talk in there, and that'll motivate me to do it more. I'm going to post things in there for people interested in a Freelancer, and that's what'll motivate me to do it more, having people see what I'm doing. CoolAsJ19 subscribed for 8 months. Obviously Steve, 17 months. Dr. Ryu, 53 months. IB Tom, 51 months. Manbull6713, 73 months sub. Doxon, 7 months sub. Alir with a 59 months sub. There's XCOM1 fan art. Oh, I'll look at it before I go, thank you. Acreman Hug of the $24.76. Been ages since I checked your live stream. Thank you for the $25, Acreman. I'm glad you were able to make it. Thank you very much. Thank you for the 25. Very generous. Weston Sammy gifted the sub to Party Junkie. Thank you, Sammy. Mark449, 39 months sub. Decay 382, 51 month sub. Greybot VT 53 month sub. Sniff and J 69 month sub. Nice! Very nice, Sniffin. Thank you for the 69 month sub. Mozerfy 12 19 month sub. Silver Millsy 16 month sub. Nick Spanicus 87 months. Banzer Shrek 24 month sub. Gressing 2 years of subbing Banzer Shrek. Banzer said freaks. Thank you, Banzer, for the 2 years of subbing. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yamsa 70 month sub. Sleepy Banjandrum, a very generous tier 2 sub for 65 months in a row. Thank you for the tier 2 sub for 65 months, Sleepy Banjandrum. Pew pew. Thank you very much. And Blue Mary Love, 9 months sub. Question your sub, baby. Blue Mary Love. We're gonna raid someone. Maybe someone else is playing Freelancer. Maybe we can raid them. I doubt it, but we can look. Is anybody else on Freelancer? It's just me. I alone. I'm streaming Freelancer. Yeah, great. We're gonna follow that. But do pay attention because I know that the Freelancer community is planning a bunch of like stuff upcoming in February to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the game. They're planning like a whole like festival of streams. So keep your eyes open if you like Freelancer. There'll be more of it coming soon, I think. Do you corner the market? Yeah, Darktide. Darktide has like no viewers now anymore too. It's sad, but understandable. Germa's playing Elden Ring. Whip is playing Sekiro. Yuka on Dead Space. Mommy on Barotrauma. I gotta unfollow Rengar. He's a bit of a dickhead now. He did some dickhead shit. You bit of a dickhead, mate. Where he like got BSG to ban someone who killed him with his streamer privileges when they weren't even a cheater. And then was like not even apologetic about it. What a dick, man. A bit of a dick. Let's raid Arvius. Alright, y'all. I hope you had a good one. See you tomorrow for more XCOM. If you're interested in a Freelancer, join the Discord server down below. I'll make a channel for it in the next hour or so. And I'll welcome you all into it, and we can talk. Until then, bye-bye, everyone. Have a good one. See you later. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, the fan art! Shit! The fan art! No, Jeff, don't unarchive the old one. It's full of salt. Yeah, keep the. We're gonna do a new one. The old one is full of fucking salt. I archived it because I was mad. We're gonna make a new one. Hang on, I gotta reset the raid. Hang on. Where's this fan art? Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. Alright, we're going back to Arvius. One day, folks. Perhaps one day. Before I die. I didn't even see the fucking skeleton, fuck you. Perhaps one day before I die, you might see this dick. I don't know. If you're interested in it, it's not going to be a threat. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye everyone, have a good one. Bye bye.